We were talking about, oh, you're talking about idiots? Well, I can give you idiots, a lot of them. We should be talking about Biden right now. Where has IQ gone? In the case of, in the case of Biden, wait a second, because I absolutely need to bookmark one thing here for later. In the case of Biden, revealed how Biden's inner circle ran the White House while hiding decline. What kind of decline we are talking about? Of course, the sign of dementia that we have been saying for months, if not years. And you know, the left has been attacking us all the time, saying that we should be sued, that we are lying, that how do we know? Are we doctors or something? Everybody sees it. Everybody says it. Wall Street Journal investigation exposes how a small group of aides effectively ran the presidency, limiting Biden's meetings, screening his news, and even controlling who could speak to him. So they basically were running. There was a shadow government running the country while Biden was declining. No big deal, right? We already know this. We have known this for years. Everybody has known this for years. Only that, you know, those who voted for Biden tried to look the other way, but they couldn't help but notice that the man was not in his right mind. And all of a sudden, I can imagine, oh yeah, I knew it all the way. And like Karine Jean-Pierre, who defended him so many times, and cabinet members like Defense Secretary Austin went for regular access to rare virtual calls during critical war decisions. Can you imagine? Rare virtual calls. Like, okay, you cannot talk to the president now. You have to wait until Wednesday to have a Zoom call for him or something that was critical. Behind the scenes, staffers frantically managed his failing memory and stamina. I think that this is another way of saying that they drug him up to the eyeballs. And I'm pretty sure that Dr. Jill, who is not a doctor, by the way, she helped with that. They repeated basic stage directions, pre-screened donor questions, and ended meetings when he had bad days, all while insisting publicly he was fit to serve. Something, people should go to jail because of this. And Biden should go to jail as well. I don't care. Biden was full potato 4 years ago. Now he's mashed potatoes head. James Jameson, you were on point. The facade crumbled in June's debate disaster, forcing Democrats to face what insiders had hidden. Their president was no longer capable of leading. This is my question. This is a question that I have. If everybody knew that Biden was not in his right mind, he was not there. He was not there. You see here, like he looks like he looks like Emperor Palpatine, but after he was thrown down that Death Star shaft. Yeah, how did they allow him to go forward with the debate? It's not that I care. You know how our timeline changed because of that. But it's funny to understand, to realize how these people have been scrambling to do something about it. During the 2020 presidential primary, Jill Biden campaigned so extensively across Iowa that she held events in more counties than her husband. In fact, her press secretary at the time, Michael LaRosa, touted to a local reporter. So this comes all the way back from 2020. From the 2020 presidential primary. His superior in the Biden campaign quickly chided him as the three rode in a minivan through the state's cornfields. Anthony Bernal, then a deputy campaign manager and chief of staff to Jill Biden, pressed LaRosa to contact the reporter again, a play down in a comparison in campaign appearances between Joe Biden, who was 77 at the time, and his wife, who is 8 years his junior. Her energetic schedule only highlighted her husband's more plodding race. La Rosa recalls being told. From 2020, they knew that something was odd about this, only because Jill had more energy than him. I wouldn't say that Jill had more energy. It's like Biden had no energy whatsoever. It was an empty vessel. We were talking about an empty vessel. It was senior advisors were often put into roles that some administration officials and lawmakers thought Biden should occupy. They thought, okay, they tried to guess what was going on inside Biden's head, and some administration officials tried to guess that. Okay, they tried to guess that and act upon that. Okay, let's say how this that's when you realize someone had to sign those papers, right? Someone had to sign those papers. So we can only guess that somebody signed those papers for him, or maybe at some point that happened in Venezuela at the time. There was it was a scandal back then that one of our presidents was just handed it was like an omnibus. It was like an omnibus bill. A lot of decrees that he had to sign, and he signed this that, well, was not exactly right. There was a lot of corruption involved. It was a huge scandal. And maybe that's what happened here. Biden just sit very slowly at the Oval Office, and he is handed all these folders, and the folders are open to him very slowly. He grabs the pen. He looks at people with those petroleum eyes in which they are empty because he hasn't taken his drugs that day, and they tell him, Mr. President, you have to sign here. And he looks down on the paper. He looks at the line, and, well, someone comes and, takes the saliva out of his mouth, of all the, toda la baba que se le cae, but then he signs, and the next paper, and that was pretty much Biden for 4 years. We know that. Yeah, petroleum eyes. It was full. He was not there. Have you seen shark's eyes? Those were Biden eyes. Those are Biden eyes. They're not there. Press aides who compiled packages of news clips for Biden were told by senior staff to exclude negative stories about the president. The president wasn't talking to his own pollsters, as surveys showed him trailing in the 2024 race. They were lying to him. Oh, nice dress. Nice dress, Dr. Jill. Vote for Trump. Nice. Presidents always have gatekeepers, but one thing is gatekeepers. Those who make sure that only the right people talk to the president. And other thing is those who make the decisions for him because they try to guess what is going on in his head. That is a huge difference, right? It's like you said, I'm going to, maybe we have to talk about that. Maybe someday I don't do the Jesus Enrique Rosa show. And Castellano, you are on the comments. I see you. And Castellano comes here. Sí, se le cae la baba. Castellano comes here and he begins to do the show, trying to guess what would go through my head to make this show. No, that is not going to work. That is not going to work because, well, first of all, I am the dictator of this show. Well, I'm a dictator of just one man dictator. I dictate over only one person. But, well, that's life. But then Biden had not only gatekeepers, he had puppet masters. He has puppet masters right now. It's not like these administrative officials were acting on their own, because if the Wall Street Journal is reporting on this so openly, it's because maybe someone wants to cover their tracks. It starts with O. That someone wants to blame. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to use my super highlighter. I allow it. Administration officials were to blame. It starts with O. Can you guess who it is? Can you guess who's the puppet master who wants to blame administration officials right now. Yeah, it is. It is the most wisest president yet. The White House operated this way even as the president and his aides pressed forward with his re-election bid, which unraveled spectacularly after his halting performance in June debate with Donald Trump made his mental acuity an insurmountable issue. You mean Obama? Yes, Obama, Obozo, Barack, Barry, however you want to call him. Yeah, I think that this is Obama ordered this kind of, this piece. So, there's no puppet master you don't need to look for any puppet master. It was the administration officials of Biden who guessed what he was thinking, and well, they went with it. So that way, nobody's going to investigate Obama, right? The Obamas are free to go. Soros is free to go. This account of how the White House functioned with an aging leader at the top of its organizational chart is based on interviews with nearly 50 people. So it's not like the Wall Street Journal is taking this out of their arses. No, they want to make it sure, want to make it really clear that this was a thorough investigation. No, it was not Oprah for once. It was not Oprah. Obama. Oprah. Oh, there's I don't know who else by O can it be. I don't know who else. Barry Obozo. White House spokesman Andrew Bates said Biden earned the most accomplished record of any modern commander-in-chief and rebuilt the middle class because of its attention to policy details that impact millions of lives. So many people called him the best president in the history of the United States, and now they are all piling into him. And at the last minute, and Elizabeth Sally has become a member. Thank you, Elizabeth, and welcome. As a member now, you can use my cute emojis. Good days and bad days, the president's slide has been hard to overlook. While preparing last year for his interview with Robert K. Hur, the special counsel who investigated Biden's handling of classified documents, the president couldn't recall lines that his team discussed with him. That is the problem. That is the problem when you have a mental decline. It's not only that you're unaware of where you are, you have memory loss, you have, that dementia gait, that way of walking, a way of speaking, a way that he slurs his words. Like, how people tolerated this. That's how we know that there are so many NPCs, non-player characters, people that are just zombies. And they said, oh yeah, Joe Biden is a great president. Oh yeah, well now it's Kamala is the candidate. She's the best candidate ever. That this is so embarrassing for the world that we have 75 million Americans. Half of Americans are just how can I say this? Room temperature IQ. There's no other way to say this. They might be aware of what they are seeing. They see Biden this way, and they cannot say, hey, you know what? He doesn't look good. The system put Biden at an unusual remove from cabinet secretaries, the chairs of congressional committees, and other high-ranking officials. It also insulated him from the scrutiny of the American public. The strategies to protect Biden largely worked until June 27, with the Atlanta debate. And we know what was left of him. So now the Wall Street Journal has unveiled all the dementia, all the memory, all the stuff. This is stirring the pot. But notice that they're putting the blame on his aides, on his administration officials. This is important. Somebody, the actual puppet masters, want to disguise. They want to, make this kind of fog of war. It's kind of, this mist so you cannot see what is really going on. They know what's coming. They know that maybe Donald Trump has said that there's no day of reckoning coming, but they know that this is not going to be pretty for them. It's going to be really ugly for them, indeed, when the FBI declassifies all that is coming. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Let me highlight your live chat